I think this keyboard is pretty well a game changer in a lot of ways, right? So I know that it has the look and feel of like a stage, a Nord stage keyboard or what have you. That's kind of like the vibe that a lot of people have been talking about this on and looking at this on. But truth of the matter is this is a different animal all in of itself. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of the way to kind of look at this. It's just a different animal. You know what I'm saying? This has some things in it as I've been exploring, and I've had it for about a month and a half now. Um, had a chance to really dig into it and spend some time with it. And it is definitely way different of a board now that I kind of got hands on it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just a different kind of vibe and a different kind of feel to really kind of talk about like and get hands on and experiment with all of the things that I've been talking about up to this point when it comes to V-Stage. Because I've done a lot of videos where I've talked about the USB-C in and out, the MIDI capabilities, the control capabilities, all of those things like that. And now to finally have hands on this particular board and be able to kind of like really kind of give you guys an objective opinion, it's just a different kind of animal. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to explore today and we're going to talk about this in some different ways. I'm not trying to sell it to you like I'm some kind of marketer because I'm not marketing this board to you guys like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not a salesman for Roland. I don't get any kickbacks or nothing. Roland hasn't paid me for this video. They did send the board. So I did get the board, in hands because I believe in it. I think it's a dope product, but no money has changed hands when it comes to this. I'm just here to give you guys my objective opinion. We're going to talk about the pros. We're going to talk about the cons. I'm going to talk about some things that I think is very interesting about this board that it brings to the table that there's not too many other hardware boards that bring this same level of functionality to it. Here's where this board kind of wins. And I hate that it kind of is reminiscent of the stage 3. That's kind of like the overall workflow. That's a design choice that Roland decided to kind of work with this. And even though it kind of is reminiscent of that workflow, I think they chose it because it was kind of familiar. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why they kind of went with this look, is because it's familiar to a lot of musicians, you know what I'm saying, in this kind of workflow. Organ to piano to synth, and knobs and so on and so forth, and drawbars kind of at the ready. I get it. And they've had that workflow before on some of their other V series, like the VR series boards. We're not going to talk too deep about that on this stream, but even though it's reminiscent of that, where this board wins is not necessarily on sound quality, on how good does the piano sound, how good does the organ sound, you know what I'm saying, how's the EPs, you know what I'm saying. It does not win on, and when I say it does not win, doesn't mean that it's not good. It does not win. What makes this board win is not the sounds. That's not what makes this board win. What makes this board win is the in and out and the functionality that it offers. Because this board is a session runner. It is a stage runner. You can do so many things with this board that you cannot do with any other stage piano. All right. So I'm going to quickly kind of run through what I think is the game-changing pieces of this. So first of all, let's start with the fact that you can connect multiple keyboards to this one board. So with this one board, I have my mains here or what have you, right? But I also have on this board over here connected up, this MIDI controller, a lead sound. So that means I can be in a live set. You know what I'm saying? But I also have my organ, my Krumar organ. This is I'm just using it as a MIDI controller. I have this plugged up to the V-Stage via USB as well. So it allows me to play the organ section from my Krumar with the foot included. both manuals. And then I got that. So now I have a whole section, and I was running a track earlier. Let's bring it in. You know what I'm saying? And I'll bring my bass in. So you could be on this workflow. So I have everything connected to this board via MIDI, you know what I'm saying? And I could plug more keyboards up if I so desire. I could run like a MIDI cable out, like an external MIDI out, and I could plug up to 3, 4, 5 boards to this one board. You know what I'm saying? Just in that situation. So imagine this is your setup. Imagine this is your situation. You got your MIDI controllers here, you got your organ controller here. Now, I'll give you a couple of drawbacks with the particular organ controller. I'll give you another con while I'm here. The only thing that's the problem with this setup, I'm only using the keys. I can only use the keys. I still have to control the drawbars and all of that from the V-Stage itself, because these drawbars, even though I have them, they don't, the V-Stage does not receive MIDI CC information yet, they told me, on the organ drawbars. They're working on an update that'll hopefully fix that. And then maybe we can get some drawbar action, and I can get some independent like control of the organ section from another MIDI controller, which would be dope. Then we also have, but what I did was I just used a pedal to change my Leslie speed, because you can do it here or there. And I just pressed the pedal to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because that just works. Because I got, even though I got like a little half moon switch here, that doesn't work either. So that's the thing. Plug up a thing, but my volume pedal, it works. You know what I'm saying? So I got a workflow in that I can use to be able to really do some stuff and kind of get down and dirty, controlling multiple boards in there. So the in and out just makes it a whole lot better. And that's also including the fact that you have like 2 XLR outs, 2 regular outs, like just, you know, line 1/4 inch outs. You have so you have 6 outputs on this board, including the headphones. So 7 outputs that you can route and use, you know what I'm saying, and route your sounds and stuff to. You know what I mean? I can route the organ out the sub outs if I want to. I can route the EP. I can route my synths. And one thing that's really, really cool, I got this here. You could do it just as a demo so I could show you guys and talk about it. So there's a mic input. There's 2 line inputs on here. And then there's a mic input, like an XLR mic input. So here's what's dope. And I'm going to do a video where I'm actually going to show this, and where you could plug up, because you can route any of the things, including the microphone, out of the sub outs, right? So that means you could take a regular microphone, plug it up, and route it out and use this as a talkback mic all in your situation. So check this. I have my aux board, I have my organ, I have my V-Stage for mains. I can plug up a mic, run the sub outs into a mixer, and then have a talkback mic that's going through the V-Stage, because the V-Stage has a mic input button right here. You can just turn it and control the volume on the mic. And or if you sing, you can literally sing. It's just very versatile. It's a central command station. You know what I'm saying? You can't plug a talkback mic up to the Nord. Maybe you can. Maybe somebody's experimenting with that. I haven't seen anybody doing that. This offers a streamlined way to do that. You can literally just plug a straight XLR mic, boom, bam, click a button in here, turn it on, run it out the sub outs to a mixer, to a headphone amp, or to however you have your Aviums or P16s routed, route it out to that thing. Bob's your uncle. I don't know. My uncle actually is named Mike. His name is, it's my Uncle Michael. It's not Bob. Anyway, I think that's what's cool. And then that's also not even getting into the fact that I have USB-C on here. I can route out every section of this board via USB-C. You know what I'm saying? I can route out the organ separate to separate audio channels. So if I'm inside of Logic, we got a video that I did with Ed that's coming out in the next couple of days where we show how to route the audio in Ableton, how to route it in Logic, and how to be able to use this board in a situation where you can record and do all of those things like that, just, you know, all inside of the V-Stage, all from the V-Stage, all off of USB-C. You know what I'm saying? Same with that. And then you have the control pedals. It has 4 control pedals. That's double what any other thing any other stage piano has, from what I understand and what I researched. You know what I'm saying? And all of them are assignable. So I have my control pedal right now. I have 3 plugged up. I have a sustain pedal. I have another control pedal that's controlling the Leslie on the organ. And I have a volume pedal for the organ over here, all plugged into the back of the V-Stage. And I'm running those, you know, in a situation. So it's just so much versatility built into this board. And I think that's the biggest pros. So if you're judging this on, oh, how does the piano sound? How does the organ sound? How is that? I think you're missing a very, 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 very key point about V-Stage. And in that, the power of this board is not in the sounds. You can get sounds from anywhere. You can use this as a MIDI controller. There's a button on here that you can literally press. If I hold down shift and then I press like here on acoustic or what have you, it turns yellow. That means I'm playing just the internal piano, right? If I turn this off, then if I hold down shift again and press it again, it turns blue. You can see that little bitty blue light right there, right? Now it's acting as a MIDI controller, and I can literally go over here on the computer. Now I'm playing peculiar sounds. So it's just super duper, like like just just dope. Just dope in the way that they've kind of lined this out and locked it out. That's where the power is. It's in the control, it's in the functionality. And we ain't even got to talking about, I'm gonna talk about that in a little bit. It's got direct control inside of main stage. So you can literally control main stage directly from the board. And we're gonna show that in just a little bit. All right. So, all right, that's kind of my spiel on that. Y'all, want to thank you for making it to the end of this video. I hope you found it relevant and helpful to your workflow and you got something out of it. If you did, please drop a like down below. If you didn't, I appreciate you for watching anyway. All right, but I'll talk to you guys on the next one. I'm out. Holla at your boy.